So the Harkles flew back to the United States before the Platinum Jubilee celebrations were even finished. And that is a signal of something possibly more sinister, as you're about to find out. Welcome back, my body language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy, and it would be great if you join us by just liking this video, subscribing, and hitting that bell. Let's get down to it. So, as per the Daily Express, green-faced Harry and Meghan fly in 160,000 pound sterling jet home with no sign of repaired relations, before the Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebrations were even finished. So that was quick! And there are exclusive photos from the Daily Mail that show the family, right, at the airport. It's relevant to stress the fact that the flight was a private jet. And thanks to the website StatsJamie, we can be aware that the carbon footprint of that flight was 18 times the footprint of a regular flight. That could have been first class. There are around 42 scheduled flights from LA to London each week from economy to first class. But Harry uses a private jet. So, in Jamie's own words, next time you see him pushing his climate agenda on the rest of us, just ignore it. Yeah, the hypocrisy is not worth it. I find it in very bad taste that they left so quickly, regardless if they were or were not invited to the rest of the celebrations. But it's no wonder that, especially Meghan, did not like the booing reception they got at the Jubilee's Thanksgiving service. You can imagine that the Queen, Charles, William, Catherine, everyone was fully scheduled because these were going to be very busy days for the British royal family. So it is laughable that the headlines are trying to push the narrative that the Harkles came to the UK to do some kind of relations reparation. Going away so fast is proof that they were not interested in the slightest of healing whatever they decided to do when they jumped on that Oprah interview. But at the same time, I'm sure that everyone who attended the celebrations was relieved of not seeing their faces at the events, because it would never have been a genuine gesture. Now, the big question is, did the Queen finally meet Lilibet? Because what is going on with the media about this topic? It's really confusing. For example, the Daily Mail claims that Lilibet met Lilibet, finally. But when you read the piece, you find the words, "it is believed that." So it means that you're not so sure, right? That's how you get an objection hearsay. Or US Weekly magazine that claims Queen Elizabeth II meets great-granddaughter Lilibet. And then you see the words, "as source." You might remember that the Harkles have stated expressly that only their own official channels can give statements about anything regarding their private life. And we don't have any confirmation from Buckingham Palace either. Now, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to both parties and give them the rest of the week to confirm that Lilibet plus Lilibet actually happened. Because you mean to tell me that the Queen met Paddington but no confirmation of Lily yet? And the confusion also adds fuel to the fire with Lilibet's mysterious birthday party. And all that Harry and Meghan have to do to dispel any doubts is issue a simple communication. Now, they issued a statement, but Harry and Meghan, whose daughter Lilibet celebrated her first birthday, were not among those in the royal box. A spokesperson for the couple said they were spending the day privately. So, did they throw a birthday party or did they spend the day privately? I'm confused. And it's interesting that every single article referring to the birthday party makes a special mention that Zara and Mike Tyndall attended with their kids. Well, the Tyndalls also attended the Epsom Derby and the Platinum concert that same day, so I guess it was a busy day for them. Now, here's the thing. Even if Sarah and Mike are not senior royals, they're extremely popular, so I'm sure that those repeated mentions is for the Harkles to be related to the Tyndalls' popularity. I don't know how to put it nicely, but from the mystery behind the birthday party to the conversations that they did not have with the royal family because they left early, to every public display, the Harkles only look for one thing: attention. It's like going back to St. Paul's Cathedral and so many of their fans claiming that they were given the chance to have their own procession. Well, besides so many people not being aware of the actual meaning of the word procession, it's not like Harry and Meghan were given a special treatment. No, they just arrived late and made sure to take all the time they needed so the attention would be on them. And I have to acknowledge that this is an actual tactic that you can use to get noticed. You arrive a little late and make sure everyone is aware of your presence when you show up. The problem is what you do with that attention afterwards. And what I like about the royals is that you can learn something new every day. And today I'll learn about what is considered the first etiquette punishment, the cut direct. It so happens that the cut direct is to stare at an acquaintance in the face and pretend not to know him. And I found this thanks to my amazing Twitter followers and the example that Peter Phillips did to Meghan's face upon exiting the Thanksgiving service. I totally missed that, but someone that spotted it was the YouTube channel The Royal Grifters, who made a video on how Peter literally stared at Meghan in the face, but there was no body language or verbal feedback, like you don't exist. I suggest that you go to the Royal Grifters channel to watch the 2-minute video. So it was not only the booing, there were many ways that the Harkles did not feel welcome in the UK. By the way, I also saw many of my female followers trying to find out who was the guy sitting right behind the Harkles at that service. And you know how is the internet. When there's a will, there's a way. This is Officer Commanding Major Johnny Thompson from the Royal Regiment of Scotland. You can see him here inspecting the Balaclava Company alongside the Queen herself. So with all those rumors about Harry and Meghan having recording devices on them, and the way the organizers of the event made sure that they did not get near any senior royal just in case, it will make sense to plant a specialist to keep an eye on them. We have seen way too much so far to think that these kind of circumstances are coincidences, right? And I've said it more than a couple times in other videos. The Queen knows human chess. Sadly, with all these setbacks of the Montecito dwellers and their flopped UK visit, their fans were especially frustrated and they had to vent their misery with none other than Prince Louis. They just needed this short clip of all that had happened over the Jubilee celebrations to criticize both him for his behavior and Catherine and William for their supposedly failed parenting. I would like to know what level of scum feels the need to aim their sights to a 4-year-old that is just behaving like every other 4-year-old. And yes, one of the Sussex mouthpieces, let's call him Discount Barbican, was one of the first to suggest that something was wrong with Prince Louis. I cannot stress this enough times. These people need God in their lives. Now, you can imagine that Harry is not pleased about what happened at home, but it's his fault. He could have stayed a little longer and, talk to his family. I guess that since there were no Netflix cameras allowed, then they felt like they were just going to waste their time. But there's one piece of the puzzle left: Harry's memoirs. We have been talking about that book since last year and Harry's possible plan to make it sell. One idea is to talk about Prince Philip, who can't defend himself, or Camilla, who he had already accepted into the family. Who knows? What I expect from Gingerbread is that he's gonna weaponize those memoirs to make up for the reception of both the public and his family in this blazing fast visit. How do you think he's gonna react? I'd love to know what you think in the comments. You can always help me spot topics to analyze, following and tagging me on my Instagram account. And if you want to refine your observation skills, all you have to do is download my 100 body language tips right in the description of this video. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas and it will always be a pleasure, my body language buddies. Much love and bliss.